This show is part of One Place, a daily network of focused briefings across the stories people follow most.
Welcome to the Roundup. We have a packed episode today covering breakthroughs in medicine, social trends, and the fascinating ways our brains process the world around us. Let's get right into the headlines.
New insulin pills could finally replace daily painful injections.
A bone hormone might stop chronic back pain permanently.
Hormone therapy boosts weight loss results for older women.
Scientists discovered a hidden death switch inside Alzheimer's brains.
U.S. abortion numbers remain steady despite various state bans.
Experimental tooth powder whitens teeth without damaging the enamel.
Occasional psychedelic use is linked to better mental flexibility.
Political affiliation changes how your brain shops for groceries.
Scotland begins testing all newborns for a rare condition.
Parental mental health impacts a teenager's daily screen time.
First, the insulin pill breakthrough. For over a century, the idea of an insulin pill has been the holy grail for diabetes researchers. The primary obstacle has always been the digestive system itself. Enzymes in the stomach and intestines are incredibly efficient at breaking down proteins like insulin before they can ever reach the bloodstream. Furthermore, the intestinal wall isn't naturally designed to absorb large molecules like insulin. This has forced millions of people to rely on daily injections, which can be painful and significantly impact their overall quality of life and daily routines.
Researchers at Kumamoto University have developed a clever workaround using a tiny cyclic peptide called DNP. This peptide acts like a delivery vehicle, helping the insulin slip through the intestinal wall. They tested two methods, one where the peptide is simply mixed with insulin, and another where it is chemically attached. Both methods successfully lowered blood sugar in animal models. Most importantly, this new platform requires much lower doses than previous oral attempts, achieving a bioavailability of about 33 to 41% compared to traditional injections, making it a truly practical future option.
Next, stopping back pain. Low back pain is a global health crisis that affects people of all ages, often without a clear structural cause that doctors can fix. However, a new study from Johns Hopkins University suggests that a familiar bone hormone might be the key to relief. Parathyroid hormone, or PTH, is already used to treat osteoporosis by strengthening bones. Researchers discovered that it does something else entirely in the spine. It appears to stop pain-sensing nerves from growing into damaged spinal areas where they don't belong, effectively pushing the pain away at its biological source.
The research team used mouse models to simulate aging and spinal instability, finding that PTH activated natural signals that reversed abnormal nerve growth. By preventing these nerves from infiltrating degenerating discs, the treatment reduced pain sensitivity and actually strengthened the spinal tissue. This is a major shift in how we think about chronic pain management. Instead of just masking the sensation with painkillers, this approach tackles the underlying nerve infiltration. It offers hope for a long-term biological treatment that could restore quality of life for millions of people suffering from persistent back issues.
Now, a weight loss synergy. Postmenopausal women often face a steep uphill battle with weight gain due to declining estrogen levels, which also increases their risk for heart disease and diabetes. A new Mayo Clinic study has found a powerful combination that might change the game. Researchers looked at women taking the obesity drug tirzepatide and found that those also using menopausal hormone therapy lost about 35% more weight than those on the drug alone. This suggests a significant synergy between hormonal balance and modern weight loss medications, potentially offering a more personalized and effective path for women over 50.
While hormone therapy is already the gold standard for treating symptoms like hot flashes, its role in metabolic health is becoming much clearer. The study analyzed data from 120 adults over a year and found that the group using both treatments saw much better outcomes. This is crucial because menopause-related weight gain isn't just about aesthetics. It's a major driver of cardiometabolic risk. By combining these therapies, doctors might be able to address the unique biological changes of menopause while simultaneously leveraging the power of GLP-1-based drugs to achieve much healthier long-term results for their patients.
Next, an Alzheimer's discovery. Scientists at Heidelberg University have identified what they call a hidden death switch in the brain that drives Alzheimer's disease. The culprit is a toxic pairing of two specific proteins, the NMDA receptor and the TRPM4 ion channel. While NMDA receptors are usually vital for nerve cell communication and survival, they can turn deadly when they interact with TRPM4 outside of the synapses. This interaction forms a neurotoxic complex that kills nerve cells and fuels memory loss. This discovery provides a very specific target for new drugs that could potentially stop the disease's progression in its tracks.
To test this, the researchers used an experimental compound called FP802, which is designed to break apart this deadly protein duo. In mouse models, the drug successfully disrupted the interaction, protected brain cells, and even reduced the buildup of amyloid plaques, which are a hallmark of Alzheimer's. By specifically targeting the interface where these two proteins connect, the treatment avoids interfering with the healthy functions of the NMDA receptor. This precision is a major breakthrough as it offers a way to shut down the destructive pathway without causing the widespread side effects often seen in other neurological treatments.
Now, abortion access data. Despite a wave of state-level bans and restrictions following the reversal of Roe v. Wade, a new report from the Guttmacher Institute shows that the total number of abortions in the U.S. has remained remarkably steady. In 2025, there were an estimated 1.1 million abortions provided by clinicians, which is virtually unchanged from the previous year. This suggests that the efforts to limit access have not resulted in a decrease in the overall number of procedures. Instead, the landscape of how people access care has shifted dramatically, with telemedicine and mail-order medications playing a central role in maintaining access.
Telemedicine has become a vital lifeline, especially after the FDA allowed mifepristone to be prescribed without an in-person visit. States with protective shield laws have also allowed providers to ship pills to patients in states where bans are in place. This has led to a decrease in people traveling across state lines, as many can now manage the process from home. For many women, like one 27-year-old in Atlanta who shared her story, these online resources and mail-order options provided a safe and effective way to bypass local restrictions without the need for expensive travel or time off work.
Next, a whitening innovation. Traditional teeth whitening often comes with a hidden cost: damage to your enamel. Most products use peroxide-based bleaching that creates reactive oxygen species to break down stains, but this process can also weaken the tooth structure. However, researchers reporting in ACS Nano have developed a new experimental tooth powder that whitens without the wear and tear. This powder is unique because it is activated by the physical vibrations of an electric toothbrush. It only produces the necessary whitening reactions when you are actually brushing, making it a much more controlled and safer alternative for long-term at-home dental care.
The powder uses a ceramic material that creates a small electric field when vibrated, a phenomenon known as the piezoelectric effect. In lab tests, it not only lightened deep coffee and tea stains, but also helped repair the enamel by depositing minerals back onto the tooth surface. Animal studies further showed that the powder reduced harmful oral bacteria and inflammation. This multi-action approach, whitening, repairing, and balancing the oral microbiome, could represent a new generation of dental products. It offers a way to achieve a brighter smile while actually improving the overall health and strength of your teeth and gums.
Now, psychedelics and cognition. A new study published in Progress in Neuropsychopharmacology and Biological Psychiatry suggests that occasional use of classic psychedelics like LSD and psilocybin is not linked to cognitive decline. In fact, researchers found that sporadic users might actually have an edge in mental adaptability. The study compared young adults who had used these substances at least once with those who never had. Both groups performed equally well on standard brain function tests, but the psychedelic users showed a distinct advantage when it came to shifting their problem-solving strategies, suggesting that these substances might enhance cognitive flexibility in some users.
This research is particularly relevant as recreational use rises and clinical trials explore psychedelics for mental health. Unlike older studies that often had small sample sizes or failed to account for outside factors, this investigation focused on naturalistic, unstructured use. The findings align with recent research on ritualistic use, which also showed neutral or slightly positive cognitive outcomes. By looking at a broad range of brain functions, from memory to attention, the researchers provide a more nuanced view of how these compounds affect the brain over time, challenging some of the older assumptions about long-term cognitive damage from occasional use.
Next, the political brain. It turns out that Democrats and Republicans don't just disagree on policy, they even use different neural pathways when buying groceries. A study in Politics and the Life Sciences used neuroimaging to show that while people from both parties might choose the exact same food items, their brains are processing those decisions differently. In fact, the researchers were able to accurately predict a person's political affiliation just by observing their brain activity during a routine shopping task. This suggests that our political identities are deeply embedded in how we navigate even the most mundane, non-political aspects of our daily lives.
This research moves beyond previous studies that used highly emotional triggers like physical threats or disgusting images. By focusing on a routine trip to the grocery store, scientists demonstrated that political ideology corresponds to fundamental differences in internal processing. It's a biological phenomenon similar to what's been seen in animal studies, where different neural configurations can produce identical behaviors. For humans, this means that even when we appear to be doing the same thing, our underlying mental frameworks are distinct. It highlights how deeply our worldviews can influence the basic biological functions of our brains during everyday decision-making processes.
Now, Scotland's newborn screening. Scotland has become the first part of the UK to begin testing all newborns for spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA. This rare genetic condition causes progressive muscle weakness and can limit life expectancy to just 2 years if left untreated. The screening involves a simple heel prick test, which allows for early identification and intervention. For many families, this is a race against time, as the loss of nerve cells is irreversible. Early diagnosis means that babies can receive life-saving treatments, including gene therapy, before significant physical decline occurs, drastically improving their long-term outcomes and quality of life.
The importance of this pilot program is highlighted by the stories of families who missed out on early screening. One 3-year-old girl, Grace, wasn't diagnosed until she was 14 months old, which was too late for her to receive certain gene therapies. Her parents had to fight for a diagnosis after noticing she stopped kicking and crawling. While Grace is now doing well on other medications, her story underscores why universal screening is so critical. By catching SMA at birth, Scotland is ensuring that every child has the best possible chance to reach their milestones and live a full, active life.
Finally, parenting and screens. A large-scale study from Finland has found a strong link between a parent's mental well-being and their teenagers' health habits. Researchers followed over 5,000 parent-adolescent pairs and discovered that when parents have better mental health, their 11-year-old children are more likely to be physically active and spend less time on digital media. These patterns were still evident when the children reached age 14. This is significant because childhood habits often persist into adulthood, and low physical activity combined with high screen time is a major contributor to the global epidemic of childhood obesity and related health issues.
The study suggests that parents struggling with depression or stress may find it harder to establish healthy routines for themselves and their children. This creates a ripple effect, as the parental mental state directly influences the home environment and the behaviors that children model. By identifying these mental health profiles, researchers hope to develop better support systems for families. Improving parental well-being isn't just good for the adults, it's a crucial component in helping the next generation develop the physical activity and digital habits they need to avoid long-term risks like cardiovascular disease and metabolic disorders.
That's our roundup for today. Thanks for joining us for these vital updates.
This show is part of One Place. Follow us for your daily briefing on the stories that matter most. We will see you back here tomorrow.